I'm going to practice with my screen sharing since I have time here.
Nancy, I'm going to go back to the emails I sent and just verify the things that we're going to cover. I don't know if I need to go back to yesterday's emails.
That's great, Nancy.
Rockin'. So are you seeing, from me, you're only seeing the slides? You're not seeing the little pictures of people?
Correct. And if you wanted, I don't think this will be the case, but just since we have the time, oftentimes in virtual meetings too, there'll be a lot of chatter on the comment box. You could also open that up and see that functionality for yourself.
There it is. Look. It's working.
Got your message. You can see folks will get some reactions sometimes too, so they'll show up in their little.
Oh yeah, look at that. Thumbs up. I gotta give Davey a thumbs up over here. How do I do that?
Davey. All the time, Davey.
I'm sorry. I don't see how I can react to. Oh, it'll only show up next to me. I can't like somebody else's little picture.
Yeah.
You need that functionality. Oh, wow.
Not there yet in Zoom world, I don't think.
Okay. All right, and then I just click on through. There it goes.
There it goes. Sometimes there's a lag. If ever just clicking your mouse on the slide doesn't work, if you move your mouse on your screen, you'll see some like ghost icons appear in the bottom left. The little arrow.
There they are.
Will allow you. Also, the third button is a little drawing thing. If ever you wanted to do that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, look at this. 98.
Maybe I'm giving you too many tools.
This is great.
I'm not sure it goes away when you move slides.
It's not going to go away. See what happens. That's great.
So if you did want to highlight a portion of the map where someone has a question and you want to make sure you know where they're talking about, you can say, is this right? And they can say yes or no. That sometimes.
If I can't get rid of it, that's going to be a problem. Eraser.
There you go.
Okay. Eraser. This is great fun. Oh my God. Wonderful. Okay, cool.
And host, and this may come into play as we get closer to the Discovery meeting. Sorry, you're getting to watch the internals of this. But you can also turn on the annotate tool, which we can teach you later, but it allows me to also scribble on the slide.
Okay.
And you can see who it is, and there's an option to clear all drawings.
Okay.
So,
all right, cool.
A lot of tools embedded in here.
All right, I'm going to hit stop share because I'm laughing so hard I'm crying over here.
I'm trying to remember the things that we said that we would add to the slide deck. I've got the differences between BLE and detailed studies. That was one of the things that we were requested to add. Timelines and the differences between, for the map update process, using the LOMAR and the PMR paths to get there. I'm struggling with the third one.
What else is in there? I don't remember offhand.
Giving my notes to
My notes are back at the office.
Okay, gang, the YouTube, there's too much of a lag for the Zoom coming through for our YouTube stream, because it froze at the 6 boxes and never changed when you guys were going through the presentation.
Okay. Do you have any ideas, David, on how we might overcome that and still make the presentation available to those that would connect to YouTube?
We could, because we have the presentation down here, because it's attached to the agenda item. So we could, we could probably just do the telephone call into Zoom, but I don't know that we'd be able to actually push the actual video from the Zoom.
Okay, is there a way to send a message through the YouTube channel that the board meeting, this work session is being recorded, and that the location of the recording will be announced?
We would be able to go through the presentation, and that should, seeing that it's going to, it's just the presentation, that would probably come across on our Zoom feed. It's just that I think with the Zoom actually being pushed as well, it's just too much for the system.
And the public has to be on during due to
Okay.
we are not allowing public, so they're not
Right,
allowed to
right.
attend other than by Zoom, by YouTube. So we can't
Okay.
stop them and tell them they can come in later.
Understand.
Okay, so if you guys presented the presentation from your side and then we were just watching it along with you guys and talking to the slides we're seeing, would that work?
We can try it. Let me go ahead and leave the Zoom meeting on my side.
Goodbye. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound. You have not entered any numbers. Please re-enter your meeting ID followed by pound. Enter your participant ID followed by pound. Otherwise, just press pound to continue. Please enter the meeting passcode followed by pound. You are in the meeting now. There are 6 participants in the meeting.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So now, if I just go, Okay, can you guys go to www.gilacountyaz.gov?
I can confirm that I'm not allowed to get there by my firewall, the FEMA firewall.
Okay, you can't get to our website because of your firewall?
It says, yeah, www.gilacounty.gov.
GilaCountyAZ.gov.
Oh, AZ, sorry. Let me check that and see if I get better results. I'm in. Got it.
Okay, and then the third circle says Board of Supervisors live feed. Click on that.
Okay.
Do you see the starting of your presentation?
I see, yes, we do.
Okay, so
And the boardroom.
if we were to control it from here, would you guys be able to speak about it?
For instance, if Michael was finished with the slide, he could say next slide, and David, you would advance it. We would wait to see that occur on our YouTube. Okay.
Correct.
Do you want
Yeah,
to-
that would work. Yes.
Is there a
But-
delay on the YouTube?
But there is an echo and a repeat of everything said.
What I think might be the best process to mitigate that is that we actually figure out how to mute the YouTube, and we only listen through the Zoom. We'll get a more immediate response, and we won't get the lag from the YouTube. So you should be able to just mute or turn off the audio on your web player for the YouTube specifically.
Audio and drop it. Oh yeah, just pull the volume down to 0.
Yeah, and so we would only hear the live connection over the phone with David or the council members then.
So David, can you confirm that you're only hearing us once?
Yes, I'm only hearing
and
you
not-
once.
Okay, and
Are you only
is that
hearing me
you in
once?
Yes. Now that our YouTube volume is down to 0, we only hear you through the Zoom, as Chelsea said. So I think we're good. Okay.
Okay, and then, yeah, just because of bandwidth, there might be a slight delay in when it's spoken here and then when it comes across on the YouTube.
Okay. But we're going to be using YouTube for the advancement of the slides, not for the audio transmission, right?
Yeah, well, let's see. You'll be still using your Zoom for your audio, and yes, just the YouTube for the slide presentation for the slides.
And the public will be able to hear us through the Zoom, or they'll be listening only through the YouTube.
They'll be able to hear you through the YouTube.
Okay. Just want to make sure that all the functions that you need to address are addressed, and this works for us on our end. And then let me just, David, have you advance the slide to the next one?
You should be on We Are Here to Listen.
At the moment,
that-
it appears we actually see a computer window over the live stream of the room you're on. So the slide that shows on a of a video is not matching what I see on the screen behind.
Is it matching now?
It might take a second, but I do still see the.
Now it's updated on our pop-up screen. Yeah. Is it, Chelsea, would you know a way of getting rid of that pop-up screen? Is that necessary for us to have that?
I would guess that that's actually the county strategy to allow viewers to be able to read what's on the screen as opposed to straining to look.
That is correct. That's so that the YouTube viewers can see what's being presented here in the boardroom.
Okay, perfect. Then it has to stay, which is fine. The bottom of the slide is cut off, but I don't think we have any pertinent material down at the bottom. But that the community members would need to know. I think it says FEMA on one side and
then risk map increasing.
Risk map. Yeah. So those are just vernacular from the source. That's all. It doesn't have anything to do with the content. Okay. So David, it seems like this will work. So you all connected by phone.
Let me just check
and
one more thing.
Will the board members be able to see us in any way? Is that necessary? Or will we just be voices over the speaker system?
You will just be voices over the speaker system. They will not be able to see your faces when you're speaking. But as
Okay, very good. Thank you.
part of our stuff, whenever someone new talks, we would please request that you say your name clearly and your title so that we have it for our minutes. Especially if you're switching people. Just make sure that, if you switch somebody a couple sentences in, we need to know who's speaking, since we won't be able to see you.
Okay. Okay. And then for our team on this side, for the sake of time, Nancy, I think I'd like to limit it to you and myself from FEMA, and everyone else. We'll just let them know that we have a support team that's also listening in, but we won't go through introductions for everybody. And I think that will allow us to keep the introductions short. If we ever get the honor of addressing the board in person, we can introduce ourselves that way again. But for this purpose, I think we want to use most of the time for answering their questions and informing them what we're up to and what we've been up to so far. So.
And David,
Okay.
would you mind confirming for this version of the presentation live on the YouTube, is it your preference to have a PDF or a PowerPoint file to present?
Both, please.
Okay, we will make sure that those get to you, but they'll also be attached to the calendar invite we'll send with the Zoom call-in information for Tuesday's meeting.
Okay, but
Thank you,
the
Chelsea.
one that's attached to the agenda item is the one that you'll be using for Tuesday, correct?
When we send it, yes.
No,
There-
the one
yeah,
that
we-
you've already sent
Must be.
us, is that the one that you will be presenting to the board?
Oh, the answer to that question is no. We've been asked by Homer to add 3 more slides
Okay.
with specific content. We'll
I
be
need to
updating what we
request-
submitted to you.
When would we get that? Because our board members have already received their packets.
We were discussing that earlier, and I'm hoping that, well, today seems the best. And if we send any additional materials, I don't know if we send 3 slides or we send the updated slide deck.
I would
What is best
send
there.
the updated packet in its entirety to
Okay.
us by email, and that way we can print it out and give it to our board.
Okay.
It's not unheard of for us to have a quick change up, but I know that they prefer to have it as early as possible so they can review it over the weekend.
Okay. Understood.
Michael, in that case, could you send it directly to the clerk of the board? They might get it faster.
We can, if we have the email address that would do that for us, to get it directly there, which I don't have yet. So,
If you could send it to the deputy clerk, that would be great. That's me. And because Marion is not in today. My email address is mhenderson, HENDERSON, at gilacountyaz.gov. And also to Dave Rogers, please, so he can update it on his end.
Okay, Ms. Henderson, your first name, I missed the initial.
It's Melissa M.
Oh, M. I got it. Thank you. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. And certainly we'll send it to both of you as soon as we can get it done. We were discussing the contents that were requested of us earlier in this meeting, so we'll get on that as quickly as we can.
We appreciate it. Is there anything that we can do to help you out? I know that this isn't conventional. This is not normally what we do as well. The only problem with the Zoom thing was the fact that normally when you have something of that nature, I would have to give that Zoom invitation out to the public. And so it's not normally for us to use Zoom during one of our meetings.
Okay.
So I wish that you guys wanted to be face-to-face with the supervisors, and I apologize that we're not capable of doing that at this time. I wish we had a little bit better bandwidth here too.
We apologize as well. Our preference is to be there with you, but we have travel restrictions on us as well, and we're just trying to make the best of the situation. And so this test with you and David this morning was perfect. It's exactly what we needed to do to find the way to make it go smoothly for the board members on Tuesday. So that's what's most important, is that we get the materials before them so they can review it ahead of time, and then address any questions that they may have of us, so they can be confident that we're doing what they need us to do for the county. That's the bottom line for us. So we appreciate everything that you've done this morning.
Oh, not a problem. I'm sorry I was late, but we do appreciate it, and thank you guys for even offering to come in and do this little test with us, because it was very beneficial for us on this end too, to see where we have some areas to work on.
Okay, great. So David, thank you for walking us through all of this and verifying all connections and the solution path for us that we'll use on Tuesday. Mike Shelton, thank you for joining us. Dard, I think we're good. With you as well, I'm looking at the clock, and I've got something coming up at the hour that I'll need to address. And Nancy, you and I think we're going to be on that call. So let's call this a win for us today. We want to get back to updating that content so we can get the slides to you, Melissa and David, today. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
And Dard, with you when we distribute that, and it will be in both PowerPoint presentation form or format, and also PDF format for ease of
Perfect.
printing.
Thank you very much.
If we do that, we'll be prepared for Tuesday.
And I have one final question for Melissa and David. What time would you like us to begin this Zoom session, or being available on the phone to troubleshoot and test and prep for Tuesday for the correct start time?
We start at 10 a.m. sharp, so Arizona time.
So I would say that I'll start the Zoom stream at 9:45.
So maybe we'll join a little bit earlier, make sure the phone connection is working, make sure we can see the slides so that we're ready to go and not troubleshooting once the live stream starts.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay?
Thank you all. Okay, David and Melissa, thank you again. Dard, if you've got other things, please feel free to drop. We're going to discuss the content of the 3 additional slides at this point and make sure that they get developed, inserted, and distributed today. Mike Shelton, thanks again. And if you have any questions, Mike, you can contact us at any time. But if you let the other DWR folks know what we've been up to, we'd appreciate that, just so they're aware of where we are and what we're doing. And that they're welcome on Tuesday as well to listen in. Hopefully we've got the phone lines. And then for Nancy, Chelsea, and Toby, if we can just go ahead and get started on the discussion of the content, I think we'll be in good shape there. Okay? So thank you, everybody.